Greetings. Welcome to the 2fisted Solo Gamers channel. Today I'm going to be playing Fate of the Fellowship by Zman Games. Now this isn't going to be a review or an unboxing, this is simply a playthrough. Now I've played the game with the solo version that's included, as well as 2 through 5 player versions solo. The one that I found the most enjoyable for me personally is the 2fisted version. So in this game I'll be playing a 2-player game. My intent with this video is to keep it fast-moving and interesting, engaging as it were. Enough of this yada yada yada, let's go to the table. Alright, today we have a 2-player game. The first player has Frodo and Eomer. Second player has Gimli and Faramir. Besides destroying the One Ring, our 3 other tasks are to secure the crossing of the Anduin, where Faramir has to build a haven in Osgiliath, lift the shadow from the Dwarven lands, which means there can't be any shadow troops here, and they have to have 4 dwarves in near Luin. That's why they've added that shadow troop there. And then I have the Rangers secure Eriador, which means there has to be no enemy troops or havens, and every space has to be occupied by friendly troops. So my plan is to get Gimli over here, get 4 dwarves in Luin, and boom, we got the first one, and then use those 4 dwarves, and he can even raise more to cover all of Eriador. And then when I complete the Eriador one, it allows you to move everyone in Eriador, as many troops as you want from Eriador to one location, Tharbad or Weather Hills. So I can move all these dwarves to the Weather Hills and go racing back. Now that doesn't allow a lot of time to get the Eye out of Eriador, or to get Frodo out of Eriador. And that's where Eomer and Faramir come in. They're going to be creating just enough distraction to try to keep the Eye out of Eriador. Now I always shoot for a quick win like that. Let's just do that, boom boom, we'll get these guys down here, boom boom, and get the Ring to Mordor and we're done. And you have to think in those terms because stuff gets in the way, shadowy stuff, and then you're lucky to get through it all. The game runs long if you win or almost win. Oftentimes it can be short if things don't go right for you and your hope goes too fast. Well, let's hope for the best and begin our game. Now in my narrative style, I'm not going to be chatting overly about game mechanics. I'm assuming you've watched any of the other number of videos out there on how the game plays, the different cards, or that you even own the game, you just want to see it played out. First thing we're going to do is Gimli's going to race west. 1, 2, 3. Well, if I race west, he's going to need to cross that. He does not have the right card for that. So we're going to take a slight detour to the Iron Hills, pick up the dwarves there, bring them to Erebor. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And Faramir is going to be mustering troops. Draw a couple more cards. Oh, this rocks. One of the cards I picked up was the Eagles. They can bring a character to any location. This will get Gimli to the Luin. Sweet. Anytime not in action, let's make sure I don't forget to do that. There he sits. I'm going to have him laying down so if the camera coming down you can see where they are. And then the shadow moves. Umbar to Helm's Deep, quick and simple. This time we put an army in Dol Guldur, deploy 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. That's discouraging, but hardly unexpected. Eomer is going to go 1, pick up an army at Helm's Deep, 2, 3, get to Isengard, and attack. Mostly so that the Eye is now over here in the Misty Mountains. And he's able to clear out all the Uruk-hai. What a guy. How poetical am I? Okay, now unfortunately he doesn't happen to have 3 Valor tokens, or cards. That would be cute. But he accomplished the task of getting the Eye off Frodo. And this is fortunate. Frodo prepares an Eriador. And he has an Eriador card, so he gains a heart and another heart. A heart from doing the card, and a heart from doing the card in his area, which is his ability. All those hearts are going to be nice because they'll use them if these Nazgul begin searching. Now the shadow moves. Umbar recruits more pirates. 2 Nazgul move closer to Frodo. A lot of shade for those moving around Eriador these days. Now Gimli recruits 3 more dwarves. We're going to do 2 more dwarves. He attacks that orc. The orc is wiped out. He recruits that last dwarf, and that's all his actions. It doesn't actually require an action to complete the objective of lifting the shadow from the dwarven lands. You just have to have no dark forces in Dale, and no shadow troops, and then 4 dwarves in Erluin. He's got all that, so we did this one. Gain a hope, and the current player can take 2 tokens from the supply. Now the cool thing about that is those 2 tokens plus 1 card that has a Valor symbol on it now gives player 2 3 Valor symbols. And that's all Faramir needs to go to Osgiliath and complete his. Things are moving along nicely. Everything but all of this, and I'll have to deal with it. Now this combat brings the eye over here. So I'm going to play, right here, brings news. It allows me to select a location, I'm selecting Osgiliath, and move some troops into Osgiliath. And I can optionally roll a battle there. Guess what I'm going to do? It was costly, but that's kind of how Osgiliath goes. That shifts the eye to Osgiliath. You draw 2 cards and then the shadow moves. From Isengard to the Greyhavens. But you'll note, there are no orcs on that path. The next thing that happens is they reinforce at Isengard, and then they move 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. Well, there's only 1 in Mordor. The next most crowded area, of course, is Eriador. So that'll pull 2 out of Eriador. Nice. Now Gimli recruits the last dwarf. Oh, he's got 2. He's going to recruit them both. Leave himself with 2. And he'll move 1, 2. Now he's doing the one where you need all of Eriador to have troops in each location. So there he goes. Faramir has 1 move he can make. He goes to Osgiliath. Draw some cards, and then the shadow moves. Moria to Erebor. Okay, Gimli, you gotta get back. Another orc arrives in Moria. 3 more Nazgul go from Mordor to the Eye. There are none in Mordor, they're all at the Eye right now. So you take the next most crowded. Well, there's only places, multiple ones, is in Eriador. So there we go. Things are lightening up in Eriador. Now it's player 1's turn. Remember, Frodo and Sam have the 2 heart tokens. They're going to spend them. They're going to go 1, and they'll spend them to go down here 2. But they have to do a search first. The eye calls 1 back. Nice. When they get down here on 2, and the last 2 they're going to move to South Ithilien. Because, you know, they like it. No, they don't want to go in there. What are you, crazy? Eomer can do 1 action. He's going to move with his troops back towards Helm's Deep. It's their turn. They draw a couple cards. They now have 3 ring cards. And the Dark Power moves. They place an army in Dunland and move 2 Nazgul closer to Frodo. It'll be like that, and then near Harad to Helm's Deep. Those Southrons go to South Ithilien. The rest of these guys go to Horondor. Now it's Gimli and Faramir. Well, Gimli, he goes 1, 2, 3. That completes the Rangers secure Eriador. And then we'll have all these armies join him at Weathertop, and then they'll move to Rivendell. He's in Osgiliath. He does the capture action, which finishes the 3rd objective, securing the crossing of the Anduin. When they do that, they add an extra Gondor troop in Osgiliath, and that's it. It doesn't actually give them any extra hope. So now we've got the 3 tasks completed. And the last one is destroying the 1 ring. And we got some plans there, because Faramir can head down there. He's going to go 1, leave someone in Helm's Deep. 2, it's going to take him 2 turns to get, he wants to join up with them because then they can trade cards. Get Frodo all the rings he needs. It's going to take 2 turns, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. A few extra troops in Helm's Deep. Or should I say, double the forces at Helm's Deep. And they have done. They draw 2 more cards. Skies darken, we knew that was coming. Okay, the skies darken. We got lucky not getting that right away. But I bet we're going to get another one soon. The eye goes to Frodo. Add 3 troops to South Ithilien. Well, that's filling up. And the danger intensifies. What do we got here now? The Wheels of Saruman. Player number 2 gets rid of 2 cards. Now we draw the Shadow Moves card. Let's see. 1 in Dol Guldur. Scratch that. 1 in Dol Guldur. 3 Nazgul go from Mordor to the Eye. These guys are nearby. They're going. And an orc appears in Dunland. 2 Nazgul are moved closer to Frodo. 7 Nazgul in Frodo's area. It goes back to player 1. Eomer goes back to Edoras. Oh, he can't raise the troop. 2 goes back to Helm's Deep. 3, 4 makes it a Druid Force. He wants to have, I should have left that army there. That's all they can do. 2 more cards are drawn, and the 2 cards they get are cloak cards, which will help them get out of the area they're in. Though moving twice isn't going to get them where they need to get to. Alright, let's see what this searching does. Near Herod to Helm's Deep. It's up there, and they attack. Overkill, and they're completely overrun with Nazgul and Orcs at Pelargir. But they go down with a heroic fight. More Orcs and Ruin. 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. Well, now all the Nazgul are with Frodo. Gimli's going to do what he can to help. He's going to spend a cloak card to move through the Mist Mountains into Carrick. And from Carrick, he's going to move south into Gladden Fields. We have combat in Gladden Fields. 1, 2, and this is 3. He's only going to roll 1 die. And it cost him some dwarves. So that was 1, 2, fight was 3, 4. He's moving back. Faramir musters more troops in Osgiliath, because he sees the orcs from South Ithilien are on their way. Draw 2 cards, and one of them is Skies Darken. Now we move to 3 shadow cards per turn. The Eye moves back down to Gondor. The I see you action. Fortunately, if it had already been there, we'd have lost 2 hope. 3 troops are added to North Ithilien, and the danger intensifies. Now we're going to have 3 shadow cards to resolve. 1 more in Dol Guldur, 3 from Mordor to the Eye. Well, now I don't care, they're all at the Eye already, it doesn't do anything. The Wheels of Saruman. This hurts, player 2 is going to lose 2 more cards. And 1 more, Orc gets placed in Dunland. And I can't, and the other thing is move 2 Nazgul closer to Frodo. Can't do that. They're all there. Now Frodo's finding this a little too intense. He's got 2 cloak cards. Allows him to go 1, 2. And he'll move a 3rd and run to Faramir's arms. And Éomer moves into Minas Tirith. Player 1 now has 4 ring cards. And now the shadow moves. Near Herod to Helm's Deep. Corsairs are seen marching through Lamadon. Ruin gets reinforced. 3 Nazgul to the Eye. They're all there already. A troop at Umbar. 2 Nazgul closer to Frodo. It's getting tough. So Gimli moves 1, 2, 3, and 4 into North Ithilien. Doesn't have any actions left for an attack. Faramir moves back to Minas Tirith. His 1 action. They draw a couple cards, and now the shadow cards. Another one goes to Isengard. 3 Nazgul to the Eye, so the 2 that were in Ithilien will move back to Gondor. Another army in Near Herod. 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. They're already there. Now 1 to Nirn. Nirn to Minas Tirith, along the yellow line. So those 3 troops attack Minas Tirith. These guys from Nirn move to there. Battling around Osgiliath. Faramir's defenses prove superior. But there's still 1 more card to draw. Umbar to Helm's Deep. These orcs are not on that line. It's down here. Now it's Frodo and Éomer. Frodo uses all 4 actions to trade in the 4 ring cards. So now he has ring token. 4 ring tokens. Now Éomer has 1 action that he can do. He's in Minas Tirith with Faramir. They can trade a card for that action. He trades it for a ring card. Now Frodo has all the ring cards he needs. He's just got to get into Mount Doom. But at this critical juncture, there are no cloak tokens available. They could run right in, but they don't have any cloaks. 2 cards they draw are Valor cards. Now for this shadow cards. Isengard to the Grey Havens. That moves, go backwards along here. These guys go to Pelargir. Nice. Those guys go down there. Second card, Isengard to Rivendell. The orcs move from Gladden Fields to Carrick. And the final one, Nirn to Erebor. Good thing Gimli's up there with everything. Gimli's down here. Gimli? Houston, we have a problem. Okay, these guys move up to Gimli. They'll attack him there. Each losing 1. And now it looks like this. Now this keeps, as these troops shift around in here, I'm not sure which my choices for which way I want to go change. So I don't have to make a choice yet because I don't have the cloak cards I need to get into these spaces. Gimli, sensing trouble North races off. 2, 3. Returns to Erebor, armed to the teeth. Faramir recruits troops in Minas Tirith. Draw 2 cards, hoping oh, they have a cloak card. I'm going to back up. Faramir doesn't get rid of that card. Instead, he moves to Osgiliath. Now it's Eomer and Frodo and Sam. Frodo and Sam, with Faramir, move 1, 2. They get rid of 1 cloak card, and Faramir requires 1 less. There's 1, 2, 3, and that's as far as they can get till they get another cloak card. Eomer moves up to the Druidon Forest. They draw a couple cards, and this is nice because they get a cloak card. They play conflicting orders. These orcs are arguing and they disappear. They've destroyed what chance they had there. And now the 3 shadow cards. 1 goes to Moria. They shift the eye to Frodo's region. Guess where Frodo is. It's time we put 1 in Dol Guldur, and 3 are recalled to Mordor. It's time we send troops to Moria, and recall 3 more Nazgul to the eye. Move to player 2. Faramir can do nothing because although he takes care of 1 of these, he still needs 1 more cloak, and they do not have a cloak card. Well, they do. Frodo does. You have to wait till it's Frodo's turn. So instead, Gimli will attack and try to get the eye out of Mordor. 1, 2, 3. Eyes on Mirkwood. He's only going to roll 1 die. They both lose 1. Faramir can, once per turn, can draw a ring from the discard pile, and he'll do that. Could help if a search is needed. And they draw 2 cards, and there are 3 more shadow cards. Moria to Rivendell. They move to there. Moria to Minas Tirith. Well, first of all, Moria to Rivendell, and Moria to Minas. They went to here. Moria to Minas Tirith is out the other way. These guys move. Well, no, these guys do move. These guys come down here. They move up to there. They move down to there. There we go. Room to the Woodland Realm. Here's the Woodland Realm. Gets sacked. It's like Mordor's emptying out. They lose 3 and they lose 1. Not good. Not good. Lose 3 hope. But now, 1, 2. It's Frodo's turn, and he and Faramir make it to Mount Doom. He spends. He's got 4 tokens and 1 ring card, so he does that. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a bunch of missing hopes, so they roll all 7. 7 dice to see if they can do what they need to do. Wow, all that and they lose 2 hope. They can lose 2 hope. Boom, they've won. The ring is dropped into Mount Doom. That was really cool. So there we have it. Faramir and Frodo, the power couple, go to Mount Doom and throw the ring in. That was cool, and having the orcs leaving Mordor really helped. But ultimately, I guess having the orcs out didn't matter, because even there had been tons of them there, we had to roll all 7 dice. The fact that we only lost 2 hope with 7 dice is pretty cool. It was a tense, close game. I thought, man, very possible we could lose 4 hope, which was all the hope we had, and poof, game over. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. As my Dark Lord Sauron, all I can say is, good game.